I thought it was a disaster for John McCain. I thought he looked like a desperate, sad old man. I thought he looked angry and ridiculous. It was like a old boxer in the ring when you know he shouldn't have gone in that one last time. And I felt like, oh, get out of there. Don't do it. Don't let him step into that ring. And you wanted to avert your eyes. Now, I get frustrated every time at Obama when he doesn't swing back hard, but as we discussed earlier, he doesn't have to, right? And he just, and I'm uncomfortable with sitting on your lead, and I wish he'd answered some of the charges of McCain a little bit better. Having said that, I think people walk out of this debate, if they watched it, and I'm sure a great number of Americans did, they walk out of it going, man, that guy's not talking about the future, that guy's doing attacking, that guy's not talking about my problems. He's talking about, you know, the same old stuff. And this guy's at least trying to address the issues. And boy, does he look smart and comfortable with the issues.
Okay, I agree with some of what you're saying, but I think actually McCain did what he had to do tonight a little more than he's done in the past. And I think a lot of his supporters are going to say, where was this in debate number 1 and debate number 2? I think he's gotten to where he is. Just talking about John McCain, forgetting the polls in this debate, he's gotten to where he is by sort of being a scrapper and a fighter and going into a fight in a different way. He has abandoned that in this general election to a degree. And tonight, I think that he did for the first time what he had to do. I agree that he looked older. I agree that the sort of obsession with the past and dating himself with references to Herbert Hoover and the Great Depression and even Nancy Reagan. And I know that Nancy Reagan's in the hospital, or I learned from him. And the constantly talking about things that have happened, but denying when Obama talked about President Bush, denying that was important. But I do think that I think he's going to get good reviews for this debate because I think that he came out doing what he had to do and hasn't done. And I think that his supporters specifically are going to become energized about his candidacy more so than they were before the night. I think the star of the debate tonight was Joe the Plumber. I think the talking about this mythical Joe the Plumber is going to be what a lot of people talk about tomorrow. And I don't necessarily think that it was a bad thing to mention initially, because what a lot of the problem that McCain has been criticized for in this election so far is not being able to identify with the average American, Joe American. And now he found Joe the Plumber, but he wouldn't let go of Joe the Plumber, and then it started feeling ridiculous.
That when you break down every presidential election, every single one to its base, you're either voting for change or you're voting to stay the course. And this is a year they're voting for change, and John McCain has never embodied change in any of these three forms.
Except for when he just flat out says it.
Right. Well, when he says, he says it's time for change, which, okay, if it's time for change, you're not the guy to elect.
I mean, look, come on. On one level, the age thing, you can have mixed feelings about it, and some people think it's unfair to bring up his age. I understand what they're saying. If he hadn't picked Sarah Palin, I would, in fact, probably agree with them, right? But he did pick Sarah Palin, and that is why it becomes an issue. But here you have, as a political reality, a 72-year-old guy who's been in Washington for 26 years, who voted with his party 90% of the time when Bush administration was in charge for the last 8 years, and then he comes and says, I'm the change you need? Nobody's buying it. And that's why Obama has the big, comfortable lead that he does now.
Right.
Because when as a desperate ploy, McCain reaches out there and says, I'm the change. I'm the change. I'm not buying it. And I don't think anybody else is.